I'll give you a bit of an update. So first of all, thanks a lot for all the views I've been getting lately. I've got now over 800,000 views, which is more than I ever imagined this little channel will get. I'm now over 7,400 subscribers, which is way more than I ever thought that this channel will grow to. And this channel is actually growing with 300 subscribers almost every month now. So it's growing quite a lot in quite a short time. And I have changed things a little bit on my channel, as you would have seen. So I think one of the questions I would have asked if I've been a long-time subscriber to this channel is, why did I stop the conversion syllabus to Orthodox Judaism? I used to do a live stream before I got married, where I was basically doing the whole syllabus to conversion to Orthodox Judaism. And the reason I stopped it is, number one, I was getting ready to get married and I had to learn quite a lot of laws. There's a lot of laws you learn before you get married, and then obviously, arranging the wedding, getting my kala, getting my wife into the country, and a lot of other things went on in the background. So I was a bit busy. And then afterwards I thought it would be better if I do it in a more structured way. My thinking is that I should rather record the videos and then include the material that I discuss in the syllabus. So it's something more complete. So it's an actual syllabus that people can watch with all the sources and not just the live stream. Because live streams tend to be less good than a video that's produced. So that will be coming back soon. So there's quite a few questions already. So Angel's Life is saying shalom, shalom. I have heard, she says, I have heard that if you make Aliyah, meaning going up to Israel, the absorption center, called in Hebrew Sol Klita, Merkaz Klita. Sol Klita is the money that you get. Sol is a basket. And she's saying that the absorption center only takes people up to age 35. Is that true? So it all depends on the absorption center you're applying to. So I know that the absorption centers do have age limits for several reasons. And the best thing, if you finish your conversion or if you are Jewish already, then you should contact the Jewish agency and they would advise you what best to do. But as far as I know, there is absorption centers for people older than 35. But I'm not 100% sure. I made Aliyah in 2019, and at that time I was under 35. I actually never lived in an absorption center. I actually found an apartment and I immediately stayed in the apartment. So I actually never really benefited from the absorption center. So even if there is no absorption center, you can always just get an apartment. You can check on Yard Stein, a yard, the word yard, too. And if you search Yard 2 on Google Chrome, then Google Chrome will actually automatically translate the site, which is in Hebrew, to English. So then you can much easier find apartments for rent, and you can select the area and find an apartment that way. So Chaya Bruning is saying Shavua Tov from Amsterdam. Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov is a good week. It's also actually Chodesh Tov, because we are in the month of Tammuz in the Jewish calendar. So it's a new month in the secular calendar and a new month in the Jewish calendar. Pardes is asking, do you know of any statistic of how many Christians are getting out of their religions? out of their religion. So how many Christians are leaving Christianity? I have no idea. I can tell you that I know quite a lot of converts to Judaism here in Israel. A lot of Afrikaans converts actually live here in Renana. We are building quite a good community. But I have no idea of how many is actually converting to Judaism. Angel's Life is asking another question about making Aliyah. Aliyah means to go up to Israel. She says, I'm assuming she means the Jewish agency. They told me that you have to have an address in Israel to make Aliyah also. So you don't really need an address, but you do get a free taxi. A taxi that takes you from the airport to an address. So if you want to get a free taxi, then yes, you need an address so the taxi can take you there. Because they obviously pre-arrange the taxi and the funds for the taxi. So that's probably what they mean with you need which address do you want? But I've never heard that you actually need an address to make Aliyah. Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Mark is asking, what's your thoughts about Moshe's eyes not being dim when he died? Mark, I'm not sure what the source for that is. If you can just type me the source, then I'll tell you. Tardes is asking a question which I do not know the answer to. I'm not sure where that's mentioned. Tardes is saying, explain further Rambam's dat. Dat is knowledge in Hebrew. Rambam's knowledge that atheists are worse than idol worshippers. I'm not sure what the source for that is. I haven't really heard of that. So if you can pop me the source, then I can obviously look at that, and then in next week's video we can answer that question better. I've never heard of such a statement. Shane Deist is asking, as a convert, do you get a clan? I'm assuming he means a tribe, because there's 12 tribes in Israel. There's quite a common question asked. So there's 12 tribes, and the tribe goes by the father. So since converts converted and have no Jewish roots or Jewish father, in which tribe will they belong to when Mashiach comes? Because when Mashiach comes, he will redivide the land, and each tribe will go back to where they were placed. It's discussed in the book of Joshua, where they were all situated, and there's a little bit of a machloket exactly where that is in modern day. And the question is, where will the converts go? And I haven't really received any clear answer, because it's not really widely discussed. But the Torah often says that these are the commandments for you and the ger who dwells among you. So there's various opinions, but I don't want to now get into a whole machloket of where the converts will end up, but you will have your place. Where exactly? It's a machloket, it's a discussion, it's an argument. GD is asking, during the process of conversion, I'm assuming, does anyone inspect your home before conversion? So in my case, yes, a rabbi came to check that I have mezuzahs and to check that my kitchen was kosher and check that I have books in my home. We actually had to submit a list every 4 months of what Jewish books we bought, what Jewish items we bought. And I remember also that there was something written that a rabbi can come at any time to inspect your house. But this rabbi only came once, Rabbi Sam Thurgood, who was the rabbi of Beit Midrash Morashah. And he actually came just to check I actually asked him to come because I wasn't sure if I have the right amount of mezuzahs and the mezuzahs at the right place. So if I never asked him, I'm not sure if he actually would have ever come to inspect. But I know they can if they want to. And look, if you're a serious convert, then you'll actually like it, because then you can ask all your questions about your individual apartment and ask, what do I do? I've got only one sink. I don't have two. Various questions that come up, and he can help you a little bit. But it's not like many people I've heard say online, it's they're checking up on you, they're always watching you. That's not the feeling I had, and I had a 5-year conversion. So I don't think they have that much time to check on every single convert. I think, in fact, it would have been better if they checked more on converts. But yes, they have the right to do it, and I think it's good if they actually do it. So Angel's Life is saying, again, about making Aliyah. They told me that because I'm 48 years old, both my parents are Jewish. Angel's Life, I'm not sure who they are. If you can tell me who they are, then I can give you a more direct answer. But if you are Jewish, even if just one of your parents are Jewish, halachically you are only Jewish if your mother is Jewish, or if you converted Orthodox through a recognized Beit Din. Then you are Jewish according to Jewish halakha, Jewish law. But if you want to make Aliyah, there's also Israeli Jewish law, which differs in many aspects to halachic Jewish law or Orthodox Jewish law, in that if your grandfather is Jewish, you have the right to return under the law of return. If any of your grandparents or parents is Jewish, then you have the right to return. So I'm not sure who they are, but if you are Jewish, which you say both your parents are Jewish, then you should be in touch with the Jewish agency, and they will assist you in everything that you do, basically. You need proof, you need the documents. It's a process like immigrating to any country in the world. They're not just going to accept you because you say your parents are Jewish. They have checks and balances. They need a letter from the community showing you involved. I'm not sure exactly the process for born Jews, because I did it as a convert. So Bartek Dex is also one of my moderators. He's asking, how is my Hebrew after almost 2 years in Israel? Almost 3 years already. And Baruch Hashem, blessed be God, my Hebrew has improved significantly. I'm able to understand Hebrew quite a lot in day-to-day dealings with Israelis. And I'm also able to converse in Hebrew, functionally I would call it. My grammar is terrible. I call everything by male, because in Hebrew you have both male and female. I just keep everything male. It's like easy that way. At work I work with a lot of females, so there I actually use the female form in Hebrew. But I'm sure it's terrible. But my Hebrew has improved a lot, and that's one thing of moving to Israel. Your Hebrew will significantly improve just by living here, because everything is in Hebrew. You can't go anywhere without hearing Hebrew. Even I live in Renana, which is supposed to be an Anglo area where people from Chutz La'aretz, from outside of Israel, come to live. Even here, and you need Hebrew. So GD is replying to Angel Life as saying, book an apartment on Booking or Airbnb for your arrival night, and there you go. You have an address. So yeah, you can do that. You can get yourself an apartment if you're saying they don't want to take you in an absorption center. And you can get an apartment as well. There's many ways to do it. But they should actually, the Jewish agencies should be assisting you in everything you do with your Aliyah. So it's strange that they are not doing that for you. I'm not sure which country you live. Maybe you can say that as well. But if you're in America, then you contact Nefesh Benefesh. They should be assisting you. If you are from South Africa, Australia, you contact Telfed and they will assist you. Because all these agencies get money from everyone making Aliyah. So it's in their interest to help you. So for me, it's quite strange that no one is assisting you. You have Tesfa. I'm not sure I need Nikidot, but you have Tesfa, or Tespa. He's saying, can someone convert to Orthodox Judaism in the United States of America? Is it possible? If so, how long will it take compared to Israel? So yes, you can convert in the United States of America, and many people do. And you must be sure that the Beit Din, the Jewish court of law, is recognized by HaRabinut of the State of Israel, and you can find a list of who is recognized and who is not, or you can just ask whoever you approach, are you recognized by the Rabbinut of Israel? Most of them will tell you they're not recognized, but it's a halachic conversion, which means that you will be halachically Jewish, but you will have a lot of problems making Aliyah. I would not recommend that. I would recommend converting through a recognized Orthodox Beit Din. It will help you a lot and prevent a lot of suffering. Take this advice to note. So, how long does it take in the US? It's actually quite quick in the US. I've heard it's a year maximum. I know it can take longer. You got to stay in the Jewish area, obviously. All the other conditions of conversion. You got to stay in the Jewish area. You got to attend synagogue. You got to, on Shabbos and festivals, if you male, you got to be there every day for minyan. You got to participate in the community. You got to keep kosher. You got to have mezuzahs up. You know, you got to show you're a real, sincere convert. But I've heard it a year, 2 years. That's about how long it takes. From what I've heard from people from the US that's already made Aliyah. So Razvan Stansiu is asking, this is actually a very common question, if a country does not have a Beit Din for conversion, so it doesn't have a Jewish court of law recognized by the Rabbinate of Israel, have you heard of any practice of calling one from abroad? Country I'm speaking of is in Eastern Europe. So he's obviously living in Eastern Europe or talking about Eastern Europe. But his question is a general question. What if you are living in a country and there's no Beit Din there? There's no Jewish community or no Orthodox Jewish community or no Orthodox Jewish community that is recognized by HaRabinut of Israel, then what do? So I've got a video of a Rabbi David Ben Nissan, that helps people to convert in Israel by learning with them abroad. His conversion, though, as I've explained in that video, you should watch that video, to be honest. That will give you all the details you need, and he says a lot of things there that's very important. But it's not recognized by the State of Israel. So you're going to struggle with that conversion to make Aliyah to Israel. You will be Jewish, halachically, but you will struggle to move to Israel with all the benefits, obviously. You can also convert in Israel, but that is a longer process. I must still make a video on that. I've already asked our Rabbinut, the Rabbinut of Israel, if I can make a video with them explaining conversion to Orthodox Judaism in the State of Israel. And the rabbi actually did agree. And I must just make time to go and prepare the questions and then shoot the video and then edit it and everything. But yeah, it is a very difficult situation. If you're living in a country that has no Orthodox Beit Din that is recognized by the State of Israel, then it's extremely difficult. Because even if you do the conversion through Rabbi David Ben Nissan, which is a conversion in Israel, it's still not sure if you can make Aliyah. So you'll still be a little bit, in limbo, which isn't a great place to be. The best is to move to a country, then, if you have the means, obviously, that has Orthodox Beit Din and that will accept you, through which you can convert, and then make Aliyah, if that's your plan. If just your plan to be Jewish, halachically Jewish, then the conversion through Rabbi David Ben Nissan is a great option. And he actually flies to Eastern Europe and does conversions there. So, there's many ways to do it. I suggest you watch that video. So, Angel's Life again is asking, or she's now replying to Judy and saying that they told her it takes 6 months. And she's living in America. Okay, you're living in America. So contact Nefesh Benefesh. They are the best of the best in Aliyah, in making Aliyah. And ask them, what should you do? Tell them you don't have a place in Israel. You want to stay in Merkaz Klita, in an absorption center. If not, what other options is available? Nefesh Benefesh, just like Telfed, has apartments. Nefesh Benefesh is an organization that helps people make Aliyah. They actually get money for every person making Aliyah, so it's in their interest. So, I'm not sure I'm not sure who they are, but you should speak with Nefesh Benefesh and then clarify with them, because that's certainly not how it should be. The process is a long process, because you need all the documents, and you need a lot of documents. And to get all the documents together, and to get it stamped, and to get it apostilled, and to get it recognized by the State of Israel, and to get approval, and then get them to buy you a flight ticket, and then making sure when you arrive that you're going to get all your benefits. That takes probably, 6 months. Could be correct. Mine was not so long, but, each case is different. America, there's probably a lot more Jews making Aliyah. Carlos Bernes is saying shalom. So Shane Deist is saying that Rabbi Sam Thurgood from Beit Midrash Morashah, my previous rabbi in Arthur's Road in Cape Town, Sea Point, already sent Shane Deist a link of this channel because he's converting as well. I wish you a smooth journey. Rabbi Sam Thurgood's very good, very knowledgeable, and he's recently left Beit Midrash Morashah. He's now actually the head of Jewish education for Herzliya schools, which is Jewish schools in Israel. So mazel tov to him, and we wish him much batzlacha, much success in everything that he does. And I think he was born for education. He's actually the syllabus that I'm doing that I used to do on the live stream. The file that I'm working from is actually a file that he put together, Rabbi Sam Thurgood. So I think I've mentioned it in the introduction of that live stream. So he's a very good educator, and he's very structured, and he knows a lot about a lot. Not just about Judaism. His knowledge about various things. He's a very smart rabbi, and young, very young, and very smart. So you're in good hands there. So Boaz, who's also a moderator to this channel, he's saying shalom from Netherlands. Awesome to see a Q&A, very nice and inspiring. Thank you, and thanks a lot to Boaz. Boaz actually helps me a lot in the comment section with Christian missionaries. He's quite good at responding, and he responds in quite a lot of detail which I don't have the patience for. So thanks a lot to Boaz for all the work he does on the channel. There's a lot of people that's contributed to this channel over the years, and Boaz has been one of those that spends a lot of time and energy conversing or debating with these Christian missionaries, which I long ago lost the passion for. And these days I just give short answers with, stop praying to a dead Jew. So thanks, Boaz, for your patience. And that's actually the way you should be handling it, giving them, more material, discussing it. But, yeah. I'm not there yet with my patience. So Carlos Bernes is asking, what accent is this? So my mother tongue is Afrikaans, which is the closest language to Afrikaans is actually Vlaams from Belgium. It's almost like a mix between Dutch and German. So that's my mother language, and my second language is English, and now my third language is Ivrit, Hebrew. So Angel's Live is saying it was Nefesh Benefesh that she called. So then I'm very shocked. Because Nefesh Benefesh, what I have heard, is they are the creme de la creme. They are the best of Aliyah. So, very shocked. I would then suggest, if you're not happy with Nefesh Benefesh, then contact the Jewish Agency directly in Israel. Google the Jewish Agency of Israel and contact them directly. It's a toll-free number, so you're not going to pay. And you speak with them. You tell them this is what Nefesh Benefesh have told you. And you can't understand that. I mean, how can you, 48 years old, you want to make Aliyah, which is your birthright, which was promised to you from God to Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and you're a descendant, and you want to make Aliyah under the law of return, which is a basic law in Israel. No one will deny you this right. And now they're telling you can't go to an absorption center. Okay, that might be true. I'm not sure. And they're also telling you that you got to have an apartment and the process takes 6 months. So how can you have an apartment for 6 months in Israel if you're not going to use it? Which also makes no sense. And you want to know, how do you get past that problem? Israelis are good to find a way past such problems. So Gustavo Pares is asking, what's my email? Now, many people have asked, what's my email? So I do not give my email because I barely check my work email. Also, I actually recently deleted Instagram. I don't feel Instagram is kosher, number one. It's, I don't know, it's just photos and videos. I don't see the value in it. And that's why I deleted it. But you can contact me through Facebook, which I also don't think is very kosher. But that's the best way to get in touch with me, is on Facebook. But the best way to contact me is on YouTube. I see the YouTube notifications if someone writes a comment in a video, and then I'm better at responding on my YouTube comments than I am on my messages. So, but if you want, a private message, then I would suggest to go on Facebook, which if you're not on Facebook, you should definitely not get Facebook. But if you're already on Facebook, then you go to the Jewish Convert. It's a public page. You write me a question, and then I will get back to you. B'ezrat Hashem, bli neder. God willing, without a vow. Impulse is asking, can I say a few sentences? כן, אני מדבר עברית, זה לא בעיה. זה קל לי עכשיו. אני פה 3 שנים, זה אין בעיה. Basically what I said there is, yes, I can speak Hebrew. It's now easy for me. I've been here 3 years. So Mark gave the source for the dim eyes, Devarim 34 verse 7. I said something, a parsha that's still coming. So I'll have to look that up. I'll get back to you next Q&A session. So Carlos Bernes is saying Chabad or Satmar. I'm not Chabad or Satmar. Both Chabad and Satmar is Hasidic groups, and I'm most definitely not a Hasid. And like I said in the beginning, the Vilna Gaon was heavily opposed against the Hasidim, and both Chabad and Satmar is from the Hasidim. So I would say, look at the Vilna Gaon, what he said, which will answer a lot of your questions about Litvaks, Lithuanian Jews, and the Hasidic movement. Impulse is asking, what am I doing for work? So I'm an inspector for the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of National Insurance and Medical Aids, for medical prosthetics and orthotics, as well as orthopedic shoes. That's what I do. That's my actual job. This is just a side hobby. Daniel S. is asking, would you like / prefer to live in Europe? Chas v'shalom, God forbid. The only place I believe a Jew should live is in Eretz HaKodesh, in the Holy Land of Israel, where we belong. Just recently, all of us read Shalach, where Moshe sends the spies. And I always think, people in Chutz La'aretz, people outside of Israel, when they read that, it's a difficult read. Because what these spies come back to say is that the land is good. It is a land flowing with milk and honey, but it's a land devouring its people, meaning it's a difficult land. And this is what many people say when they come to Israel today. They fly here on holiday, or their pilot trips, and they say, oh, it's nice, Israel, it's a beautiful country, and it's nice, and so many Jews, and so Jewish, but it's very difficult to live there, and to make money there, and it's warm, and there's a lot of Israelis, and we all know Israelis, not easy to deal with. And they go back with that report to wherever they came from. Isn't that exactly like the spies? Isn't that a copy-paste? It's chaval, and you saw what God did to them. God killed them in the desert where they were, and they never entered Israel. And only their descendants will go into the land of Israel. So there's only one place, Eretz HaKodesh. It's difficult here. I'm living here 3 years. It's not easy, but it's the place you should live. As easy as that. Angel's Life is basically saying, another comment, she's replying to GD, that it's an assessment that they only want young people to make Aliyah. So that's not true. So I can tell you that from South Africa, there's a lot of old people making Aliyah. I'm talking elderly, like 60s, 70s, 90-year-olds. So I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. If you're not happy with the answer you got from Nefesh Benefesh, then call the Jewish Agency of Israel, and they will assist you. They speak English, so you will be fine. You obviously need all the documents. So, but yeah, I've never heard of that, to be honest. Yaakov Avranel Orlando saying shalom everyone, and his favorite convert, shalom. So GD is replying to Angel Life and saying that because she's Jewish, obviously she has the right to return. Age is not important, and he did it 3 years ago at age 65. There you go. We've got an expert here. So why Shalom is saying, I'm a Muslim living in Britain, and I've always felt a draw to Judaism. So then you should look into that. There's a lot of similarities between Islam and Judaism, because Judaism is the first monotheistic religion. Came 3,400 years ago when we received the Torah at Mount Sinai. Christianity came 2,000 years ago with their story, and a Jew that died. And Islam started 1,400 years ago. So what Islam did is they combined all these, the two big religions, and just added a last section. So you'll find a lot of similarities, but I actually made a video of my views on Islam where it also disproves Islam. Or you can watch a video I have on my channel which is called The Purpose of Life by Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, where he goes in it in a bit more detail. And I think that video, The Purpose of Life, will give anyone all the answers they would need. Okay, Razvan Stansius asked about converting in Eastern Europe. He's saying that there is Orthodox communities, but there's no conversion. Okay, so then definitely there's a video I have which is called Converting in Israel, I think. The rabbi that I'm interviewing is Rabbi David Ben Nissan. He's from Israel, and he does halachic Jewish conversion according to Jewish law. And he actually interacts or communicates with the community that you are from, the Jewish community, so that they would accept your conversion. So you can integrate into that Jewish community where you currently live. The only problem with his conversion is making aliyah, which can be a balagan, it can be a big mess with a lot of problems. But yeah, if you're planning to stay there, which should not be your goal, but then you can do it that way. At least have a conversation with him, it's free. So, or to speak with him is free. His WhatsApp number is actually just below the video. So very easy, he's very good on WhatsApp. And hear what he has to say. He would be the best one to advise you. Paul Lopez is asking, is Christianity still alive in Israel? So in the Old City, yes. In the Old City there is a Christian community, but it's very small. So it's not like in outside of Israel. Paul Lopez is also asking, is Israel the chosen land? Yes. Israel is the land given to the Jews by God, to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And the whole Bible is full of it. The Tanakh, the Torah ends with Devarim, and the next book is Joshua, where Joshua conquers the land. And then we have all the prophets, and we have the two temples that was both in Israel. So yes, it's definitely the chosen land. Okay. Aver is saying, I made Aliyah about 15 years ago and I've never looked back. In fact, every time I've been out of Israel, within 2 days I was ready to come back. So yes, I could say the same. When I went to South Africa for a month, I didn't feel good. And I'm a South African Afrikaans. You know, so I didn't feel good. I kept on telling my Chavruta that I learn with Al every day, told him I don't feel good. I must go back. So I know that feeling. They say it's because you're going down in Kedusha, you're going down in holiness. So, and your neshama, your soul feels it. And that is why you feel like you should return. So Anthony De Rosa saying, my wife and I converting through Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi. He is our personal rabbi in New York. We finally moved near a synagogue, so we are going to begin the process. So you can send Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi my regards. He's actually the rabbi that made me religious, I would say, and made me want to convert in some way to Judaism. I watched a video of him called The Purpose of Life. It's in my life story. Definitely one of my favorite rabbis of all times. I still listen to him today. There's a lot of people in the beginning that listen to Rabbi Mizrahi. Once they get to a certain level, they, move on with their own learning. And Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi mainly speaks to people that is Baal Tshuvas, people that's making a return to Judaism, wasn't religious and making a return. And there's also a lot of converts. He's got a very big convert following. And I actually spoke with a few converts that converted now, I'm talking now years ago, like me. And they said they no longer listen to Rabbi Mizrahi because they're not interested in, current events. But for me, Rabbi Mizrahi is the most entertaining current events rabbi online. And that's basically what I'm listening to when I'm listening to Rabbi Mizrahi these days. Because I've also moved, my learning is a little bit different from when I started. But yeah, he's an excellent rabbi and a very good human being. I met him in Beit Shemesh when he was speaking here. You can tell him, I'm not sure if he will remember my name, but he would remember the photos we took. So you can tell him that Kriel, the Jewish convert, the guy with the one leg that took the photos with him in Beit Shemesh, he sends his regards. He's an excellent rabbi, and you can't go wrong with Rav Yosef Mizrahi. He's a legend. A lot of people are obviously saying that he's controversial and he's radical, but I've checked all his sources. I'm a Litvak. He's a Sephardic, so normally, Litvaks only listens to Litvaks. But the way he speaks is, for me, brilliant, and it's to the point and with sources that you can always check, and it's always there, and it's Musar. It's not the lecture you will hear in a synagogue, but it's also part of the Litvak tradition. Okay, so now I understand. She did a double question. Okay, so why is asking? She's saying that she was inclined to convert to Judaism, and she says that she still has this inclination to convert, but she married a Muslim man. She's saying he's a very understanding one, and she's basically asking, would a convert be accepted if they are intermarried? So no. You have to be Jewish and your husband needs to be also Jewish. If you are married and you want to be Jewish and your partner does not want to be Jewish, the Rabbinut will not even get involved, because non-Jews have no obligation to convert to Judaism. Because Jews believe that God gave the nations 7 laws, the 7 laws of Noah, which you might have heard about. And if you follow these 7 basic laws, which most Muslims follow, then you will have a share in the world to come. The same with many Christians. If you now there's a concept called shituv, which means intermediary. It's allowed for a non-Jew to connect with God, the one God, through an intermediary. It's forbidden for a Jew, obviously. Karet, soul gets cut. Idol worship, one of the worst sins in the whole Torah. But for a non-Jew, it's allowed. So people that believe, that's non-Jewish, that believe in the 7 laws of Noah, have a share in the world to come. So the rabbis say, why do we want to break up a happy family, assuming you're happily married, and please God, you should be happily married with this Muslim man. And if he has no inclination to convert, but you want to convert, then the rabbis won't get involved because you're already married. And why do they want to break up a happy home? Anyway, you have a share in the world to come if you follow the 7 laws of Noah. So they will not get involved in that at all. Also a very commonly asked question, unfortunately. Yes, Anthony De Rosa is just saying that it's a very small world and he'll send my regards. Yes, please do. You'll remember the photos for sure. And an excellent rabbi, and I would highly recommend Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi is on my recommended list. I'm actually thinking to make a video of the rabbis I recommend. And there's not a lot of them, but he's certainly one of them. Truth Seeker is saying that Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi mainly speaks Musar. Yes, he mainly speaks Musar. And I have a video in the conversion syllabus about what Musar is and what Musar is not. And yes, Musar is not for the faint-hearted. And in this generation, I think a lot of people struggle with Musar, but Musar is needed. So this is my opinion. I think it's only when you get Musar. Musar is translated as rebuke, like telling someone what they're doing wrong and what can happen if they do this wrong. And a lot of people can't take that these days. They are very, very sensitive. But you got to listen and say, okay, so I need to work a little bit on that. There I'm a little bit better, Baruch Hashem. But there I need to work a little bit more, and maybe I don't agree with that. Maybe I should check it. This is normally how you learn. So I always say, if you don't agree with something that someone said, a rabbi or a comment that you get here on YouTube, go and learn. Take a book. Learn what that guy said. Is it true? Is it not true? And often that way you learn a lot. You learn a lot from your... I've learned a lot from my subscribers, from the people commenting on these videos. And that's how you learn. Yasser Pardes is also saying he's been listening to Rabbi Mizrahi for over 10 years. And also people in Jerusalem. So I can tell you, there's people in South Africa that absolutely love him. They normally send me these clips because they know I'm a big fan of Rabbi Mizrahi. So they send me also these little clips. So Gideon Lapidus is also saying that Rabbi Mizrahi changed his way of thinking about 8 years ago, and that he speaks only the truth, which is why I like him as well. So why is saying, after I told her about what she should do, in my opinion, if she's already happily married to this Muslim man, that she's going to take that stance and identify as a monotheist and continue following the laws outlined. She's saying she's very happy, we've married going on 6 years and have a beautiful daughter together, yes. If you're happily married, according to Judaism, this is what I like about Judaism. In Judaism, you don't have to be Jewish to have a share in the world to come. All the other major religions, you have to be part of that religion to have a share in the world to come. Where we believe, if you are a good, decent human being and you follow the 7 laws of Noah, you have a share in the world to come. So definitely, if you're happily married, I'm very happy that you're happily married and that you have a beautiful daughter. To have a child is a bracha, is a true blessing from God. And, be a good human being, be good to your husband. Please God, your husband should be good to you. You should educate your child well and should have many more children, B'ezrat Hashem, with God's help. And yeah, that's what I would do, and that's what many rabbis would recommend. She's also saying, thanks for my response. It's only my pleasure, and I wish you all the best, and may you be blessed in everything that you do. So truth seekers saying the generation have too much pride. They are snowflakes. I would certainly agree with that statement. So Pardes is saying about the Rambam that he said that something about, it was a previous comment about the atheists and idol worshippers. So I need a source, not the rabbi that talked. He says a rabbi talked about. So not the rabbi that talked about it, but where it is in the Mishnah Torah. can actually show you here. So I've got the Mishnah Torah. That's the whole set there. As you can see, it's quite a large volume. So I just need to know the source, then I can look it up in the book. Because that's something that I've noticed a lot, remember when rabbis, I'm saying nothing against the rabbi that you listen to, but when a rabbi says something, he's giving a shiur or whatever, maybe he's making a different point or whatever, and he's just using a quick quote from the Rambam, which is an authoritative source. Was Rishonim, lived 1,000 years ago. Almost no one will dispute the Rambam. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, he actually never called himself a rabbi. He called himself Moshe ben Maimon from Spain. This was the title he also writes in the Guide to Perplexed and in the Mishnah Torah. Later on, the people called him rabbi. But often, when I've looked up these little quotes that rabbis give, and you go and read it in the Rambam, in the Mishnah Torah, and you read the commentary at the bottom, then you see it's not exactly like that rabbi said. It's close, but not exactly. So that's why I normally ask for the source, because then you can check it in its original form. Because the same thing in the Torah, like Christians, when they give you a source in the Tanakh, Isaiah 53, beautiful, but what does Isaiah 51 say? What does Isaiah 52 say? You got to read it in context. You can't just take a short extract and then say, this is what the Rambam said. You've got to read the whole thing. So Mem, just the Mem with heart, saying hello from Canada, Shalom. He's actually a very good rabbi in Canada, who from Jews for Judaism. Definitely a channel you should subscribe to. Rabbi Skoback, one of my favorite rabbis from Canada. Canada also has one of the most difficult conversion programs known to man. I have a video of it on my channel. How are converts treated in Eretz Israel? Truth Seeker asks. Great. Israelis love us. They are shocked that we converted to Judaism. But they love us. They can't believe we converted. They want to know why we converted. But they love us. Baruch Hashem. Yes, so Zines is saying, yeah, he has a question, or she has a question, not sure. Did God just say that he was defeated? So then he gives the whole quote. This is a Midrash. So again, like I said, I have a video about Midrashim. So I suggest watching the video about Midrashim and then reading that statement again. And then that is the Litvak view. So did that story really happen? Did God say he was defeated? My opinion, no. And you should check the Midrash. The video about Midrashim. So there's something to learn about that story. But did the story actually happen? It's like the Rambam says. Someone that says that a Midrash is 100% true makes the Chachamim, the Torah scholars, look foolish. And someone that says it's 100% not true doesn't know what they're talking about. So it's somewhere in the middle. Okay, great. So now there's a few Christians here. So they can all now go watch. I've got a playlist. Answers for Christian missionaries, which will be excellent material for you to watch. And then there you can write all your comments about, when you pray, you say Jesus, right? For the Christians now that's on here, that's now jumped on. But his name wasn't Jesus. So your book says you should pray in his name, but you are not saying his correct name. So I would go by investigating his name. Then you'll find out what his name was. Then you'll find out he was Jewish. And then you'll find out that he prayed to God. This is what it says in your book. You should read it. You should read your book. You'll find the answers in the book. And you'll see that he prayed to God. Now, if he was God, why did he pray to God? Very basic question, which is very difficult for Christians to answer. So you go, do your homework, read your book, and I've got videos on it, plenty, which you can watch. And I hope you find the answers you're looking for.